Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning into another episode with your boys. As always, I am your man, K Marvel.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy QS.
The big homie, the big stretch is in the middle of something, so hopefully we can have him a little later. That's all I
Sir,
gotta say
yes,
about that.
sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And it's Striker Dragoon. We back in the building.
And as always, well, we are three of the four corners of commentary. So chill.
Yeah.
Thank y'all once again for tuning in. Uh yeah. So there's been a few things in wrestling in general going on. Damn. Sorry, my phone just decided to do whatever the hell it felt like it doing. I hate this shit. Anyways, um there's been a lot of things going on in wrestling. One major thing we're gonna talk about, and then a couple of the lists. You know how Jericho used to like his lists. So let's start with it. Q, you wanna
Is this thing on?
Y'all can hear. Y'all can hear it.
Is this thing on or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me explain something to everybody. First of all, to everyone who has sent their well wishes and their respects and their love toward me, I just want to say thank you very much because I love you all and I appreciate you all, and the support means the world to me. Okay? And God works in amazing ways. Okay? Let me tell you this. I'm trying to help my old man out on a computer, and I just type in WWE, right? Tell me why. The first thing I see is EC3 has talked to the dirt sheets. I guess since I'm on TMZ now, I'm somebody again. EC3 has gone to the dirt sheets saying that if you haven't seen it, he had a party at his house one night. And if I'm to be correct, this was about 2017, 2018 EC3. And I'm not going to tell people who was at this party out of respect for our mutual friends. But one of our mutual friends is a former NXT talent that no longer works for the WWE. And the other person is a current Monday Night Raw talent who used to wrestle talent for NXT. Okay? Mike, EC3, you go out here after I give you the best match you've ever had in your entire career. You go out here and you dirt. I'm tired of people throwing dirt on my name. You throw this dirt on my name saying that I tried to record you in your bathroom. Let's be honest, Mike. You're leaving out a lot of details. What were we doing that night, Mike? What type of powder was on the table, Mike? Okay? Okay, let's be real. So let's not leave out all the details. We were all drunk. You were pissy drunk because you were in your place. You were damn near passed out in the corner. You and your homegirl, whichever chick you were screwing at the time, okay? And the other two people, our mutual friends, were there. I left my phone on your bathroom counter, and because you were not sure of my sexuality at the time because of the character I played on TV and because we're not friends in real life at all, okay? You try to accuse me of recording you in your own home. So what did I do? I went to our mutual friend who no longer works for the WWA, former NXT talent, and I showed him my phone and had him go through my photos and videos and my recently deleted just to prove to you and the other person that was there who, because I respect him and he has a job, okay, I'm not going to put him out there, okay, I had him prove to you that I was not recording you. Cocaine is a hell of a drug, EC3. Get your shit together. And if anyone would like to go to my friends list right now and check out who follows me, because I'm not following him, EC3 is a follower of mine. I would really think that if you thought that much of me, that you couldn't trust me, you definitely wouldn't be following me on social media, on Instagram, all these years later, EC3. You're pathetic. Now control that narrative, you asshole. Burn this shit off.
That was icing
Yeah.
on the cake. Gold.
Yeah,
that was
asshole.
great. No, how the
Control-
fuck you turn this shit off?
Control your narrative. Control your narrative, you asshole. Wow.
All right, so wait, let's break it down. So long story short, EC3 came out a little while ago and pretty much said that Patrick Clark, formerly known as the Velveteen Dream in NXT, uh, was doing some stuff. He took his phone and had it recording while people were in the back at this house party. He said he found it. They ended up deleting it or whatever the case may be, and then he threw everybody out because he didn't want to confront him in front of everybody or some shit like that. This was the reply 2 days ago, 3 days ago, something like 2 days ago.
Actually, this is the reply
yesterday.
Yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday. Okay. So this happened yesterday, and Patrick Clark came out and put that out. So yeah. The only two words I could think of is goddamn.
You know, I think what people are trying to they're trying to push it on, trying to act like, oh, like Velveteen Dream said something that was crazy. He shouldn't have said that at all. When there should be no surprise that these wrestlers are doing cocaine. If anything, like Velveteen Dream just confirmed something that we always knew for years. You always see it being talked about in like Dark Side of the Ring. You see it getting talked about in any of these, side documentaries that happen on YouTube. He's just telling the truth. And honestly, like, there's no way, everybody knows there's no way to actually drug test for cocaine because it really doesn't stay in your system. The most it stays in your system for is about 8 hours. So by the time you get a drug test, unless it's an immediate drug test after, you're never gonna know somebody's high or off cocaine. You're never gonna know unless you can't even visibly see it. I don't know why anybody. Cocaine, yes.
You can't
cocaine
visibly see somebody fucked up.
You can't. You really can't. You'd be surprised. You don't really know.
I don't know.
Trust me. There's functional cokeheads. Trust.
Well, I mean, it's functional everything. You know what I mean? If you want to put it that way, but
it's like. But then when you go, but not even, bro. When you think about it, look. Why did we even think to consider what EC3 was saying was so true? First off, like, it just showed all this shows is, for one, that EC3 kind of may be an ignorant asshole because you basically went on a live radio show, on a live show, and you basically tried to potentially out this man because you didn't know his sexuality, and hell, none of us know his sexuality. It's nobody's business. But you basically tried to out this man. Then you went on, and you tried to go and try to insinuate that he to add on to like more dirt that he has on him. Obviously, Velveteen is already fired. He's not working right now. So you're already kicking a man while he's already down. Now you're trying to add fuel to the fire, trying to say like, oh well, he's doing all the weird stuff that he's getting accused of. He's over here. He was doing this even when it was over there going on, and everybody just obviously the public's going to automatically believe what EC3 was supposed to say because of what Dream was accused of from before. He's already the villain no matter what. Right. Court of public opinion, that says everything. But it is the court of public opinion. But the fact is that that Dream had to finally just come out and really debunk this ridiculous rumor. It's just like, well, why do we believe EC3? This is the same man that's running Control Your Narrative. And we already see how far Control Your Narrative is going. We already see how far this
gone.
It's basically gone. It's like two of his biggest founders are not even there anymore. So it's just like, what does that tell you? That it's more than enough said. Like, if you can't even really run your own wrestling promotion, I'm not going to sit here and just believe you saying that you're basically trying to like defame this man's character even more, and then you're also trying to basically he already has the notion of being a supposed pedophile on his name, but now you're basically trying to call him. Now you're just saying he's sick, demented fuck all around, and it's just like, well, you got to come up with more proof on that. You got to if you wasn't able to show that proof, the way that Velveteen Dream just showed the proof of exactly what was going on that night, that's over here. That's why EC3 even came out later and was just like, oh, from that night, I forgive everybody from that night, even with Patrick Clark. I wish him the best in future endeavors. That's you backpedaling. That's a backpedal move because you already know like Patrick Clark could have really came back on the live and really started dishing out everything because there's no ties. He doesn't have no ties. I mean, we could
Right, at this point, he
assume,
don't give a shit.
yeah, you know, and we could assume who we think he's talking about that's on the main roster. We can assume, and I mean,
Yeah, that's
we,
we don't need to.
I mean, we don't need to. I mean, obviously, we can talk about it off air because I already have inclination who he's talking about, but it's just like it just adds on to it. It's just like, oh, well, makes perfect sense.
Well,
They just
here's the thing about the whole situation. Number one, you know, and I'm pretty sure we've said this before. I've said this before on the show, but there's always three sides to the story. There's the two sides of the individuals and the truth. So at the end of the day, we have no idea what's true and what's not. You know what I mean? Number two, if so let's play devil's advocate on both sides of the coin, right? You got one side where EC3 is having a party, everybody's having a good time, and he finds his phone and it's recording people using the bathroom or whatever the fuck is going on. And he confronts, there's whatever, kicks everybody out, right? Now, to put us in his shoes, you know, what would you do? You would confront the man, tell him to delete whatever the fuck is on the phone and get the fuck out. True or not? Right?
True.
But
on the other side of the coin,
right?
You have someone who feels like obviously there's somebody, you know, destroying their name, to which, you know, and sadly, just like you said, court of public opinion, his name is pretty much dragged through the mud, the earth, the crust, lava. You know what I mean? He's gone through all of this shit because of either accusations, whether they're true or not.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had to come out. To which, when was the last time we even heard anything from him? You know what I mean? So for him to come out and be like, because he could have easily just been like, this nigga's stupid. Easy. You know? But he didn't. He decided to say something. And if that is true, number one, people doing cocaine in the wrestling business is not new news.
Yeah.
People doing cocaine, period. It's not new news.
That's what
you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're doing a get together.
And not
or a party or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And not for nothing, what it you could even everybody can look this up. This isn't hard research. This is one of the side effects of anyone who does cocaine. One of the side effects of cocaine is paranoia.
Right.
So it just adds on to the fact that, you know, that everything Patrick Clark was saying, he was alluding to the fact is like, brother, man, you got that paranoid about because you didn't know about man's Patrick's sexuality.
Yeah.
You just went and assumed and got somebody to look through the phone, and while he did, because you were paranoid. And paranoia, that's one of the side effects. So it does confirm the fact is like, oh, so y'all all were doing cocaine. And that's okay. Like, look, if y'all that's what y'all doing, you guys are all grown.
Right. That's on y'all.
Like, granted,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it was back in 2017. Y'all are grown ass men and women. Y'all, if this is how y'all, this is what y'all did. Y'all did at EC3's house to try to, you know, like, you know, this is what y'all were doing to basically, you know, wind down. But then my other next thing is just like, you know, Patrick even confirmed is like, him and EC3 are not friends in real life. So I was even saying, I'm just like, that's what I even had me like, you know,
right.
I lean kind of towards Patrick's testimony because I kind of like would believe it. It's like because like, well, EC3, you and him are not friends. The way you were trying to push it off is like y'all were like y'all were cool. It's like if
and
you had all
to that point, Q.
Yeah,
it's also like you're telling a story about a situation, and once again, we don't know the truth. So let's just make that fucking clear. You know, if you look at it, you're like, all right, so you're pushing this narrative, no pun intended. You're pushing this narrative where, you know, you have this party, you do all this shit, blah, blah, blah. But what's the point of bringing up his name if he's not talking shit, if he's not, I mean, let's call it what it is, right? The character of Velveteen Dream, the man Patrick Clark Jr., is not relevant in wrestling and hasn't been in how many years at this point, right?
Going on 3 years now.
3 years, something like
Yeah.
that. 3 years.
Yeah.
Before COVID, so maybe 3-4 years, depending.
Well, okay, so
right?
I'll give it maybe, let's say if it's before COVID, let's give it like 2 then. Like 2 years. We're 2022. All of this came out in 2020.
Yeah. So 3 years. So let's say 3 years. Okay. The only reason people have talked about him is like, all right, you know what? He did put on great matches. That's the truth. He had a great character. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Or the subjective truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of people? So maybe he was doing, maybe EC3 could have said it because he isn't relevant when it comes to the wrestling world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not at this point. You know what I mean? You can't take away his accomplishments because they're still fucking accomplishments.
They are.
He is a former NXT North American champion. He has put on some amazing matches in NXT, regardless if the WWE wants to erase the fucking history or not. You know, and we've seen them do that a few times. You know what I mean? But what's the fucking point? That's my thing at this point. So for him to come out and say all this shit, and then Patrick come out and be like, "Listen here, you fuckface. You were drunk. You were on cocaine.
Yeah.
That can't be a good mix. It just can't be a good mix."
With that,
so
and paranoid,
exactly. Paranoid, you're already seeing shit. Your mind is already fucked up from alcohol and drugs, because weed isn't a drug; it's just a plant. And like Cat Williams said, if you just so happen to light that shit on fire, but
it's like
it's. I feel like I've said this word a lot during this podcast. It's fucking asinine at this point. Just what's the point? Yo, you're upset. If you're upset because one of your good friends decided to go back to the WWE for any fucking reason, it doesn't even matter why, then that's on you. Then that's between you two. You don't go on. You don't try to bring somebody else's name down on something else because maybe you might be upset. And once again, this is speculation. We don't fucking know.
And again,
these are just things that we've seen people do. We have. I'm pretty sure between the three of us and 4 of us, if Stretch was here, we've had friends who talk shit behind our back, who dragged our name through the mud. You know what I mean? Who or has done some really stupid shit to where you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not fucking with you no more.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, never mind. We the 4 of us during this podcast, during the birth of this podcast, and now have done that shit to people because of stupid shit they've done. True or not?
But then but again, it's like, it's not even the fact that it's true. It just goes to show is like, if this is someone that you don't consider a friend, why the fuck do you even have this man that you don't consider a friend in your fucking house? You literally are just, that goes to show that's the problem right there. It's problematic. Right. All this would have probably been avoided. Maybe if you felt this much of a way, it would have been avoided if you just didn't invite Velveteen Dream into your crib, because you and him were never friends. And clearly that's what Patrick Clark just basically said out. You and I were never friends. We were never friends. We were coworkers. And that's the thing about dealing with certain things with coworkers. Y'all, we may not like each other, but we work together. So we just on the same.
There's a level. There's a line. There's a line.
Yeah, it's a line. That's as far. That's all we're getting, and that's as far as it's going to fucking go. At the end of the fucking day, you can't. Like I said, you can't. You went and tried to go off to like further like do some character assassination, because this type of story, obviously, this story could have been really just kept in the archives, because not only is it involving Velveteen Dream, it's clearly involving another NXT superstar that does not work there anymore, and a current NXT superstar that's on the
main roster.
You should not You should not take it upon yourself to sit here and just be like, oh, let me just talk about this story on a podcast, knowing that all the other parties involved in this situation of that night are not. You don't know if they're going to be okay with hearing about this or even talking about this, and then not. And now it's like, because now guess what? You went and said your account, and Patrick went and gave his account. That kind of does sound like it is the pretty much the truth. But guess what? Now that comes forward. Now we want to hear from the two superstars, the one that's on the main roster and the one that's not even working there anymore. You want to hear from them both.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they don't need to.
They don't need to,
because their name is said.
Yeah,
I don't think. First off, nobody needs to say shit.
No, trust me. Because trust and believe, nobody needs to even talk about any of this anymore. Because at the end of the day, it's nobody's fucking business. But because now that this is one of the biggest stories, the messiest stories about talking about right now in the wrestling business, you are like intrigued. As all of us as fans, we're intrigued. You're like, well, what's going on here? What are we doing? Like, so like, what are we doing? It says like, and like, what do we really talk about? Honestly, at the end of the fucking day, like I think what you can come up and say about this, regardless of how you feel about Patrick Clark, about the Velveteen Dream, one thing is for true. There's many things for true. We will never essentially know what he did, if this is actually what he did, what he was accused of, those allegations. We are never going to know if it's actually true or not, because everybody's just walking on eggshells at this fucking point. And that's the problem with the court of public opinion and the media. Unless you really know some shit and you're really willing to just put it out there to make sure he goes to jail, you need to have proof, but you're really beating a dead horse. But one thing that we can assure and we can actually agree with is that very match that he had with EC3 at Takeover, he damn sure gave him one of the best matches of his EC3's NXT career.
Very true.
This is the truth.
Not even his NXT career, his career period.
Because none of y'all was really checking for EC3 when he was in Impact like that. Because I tell you right now, all of his matches that he had in Impact, it's not eclipsing what he had against the feud that he had with Dream. That works.
There might be two.
Maybe one. I'll give one maybe, but we're not going into a like deep dive.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Career. There's no need for that. But at the end of the day, y'all gonna stop playing with Patrick Clark's name because he gonna really start. Because if he really decides to sit on here and start airing out all the dirty laundry, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up being like a mini story of a Dark Side of the Ring episode, and Patrick Clark really lets off. Stop playing with people's names when they're already going through enough already. Stop playing with their names because he doesn't have anything to lose. He has nothing to lose and also nothing to gain. He has nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing but more to gain. All he got to do is just talk. Yep. And guess what? A lot of people will listen.
Yep. It's damn sure true. Right?
I mean, as usual, I go last because I'll let everybody get their opinions out. But
shit.
It's usually shared. Opinions are usually shared. A lot of things are usually we usually come to a consensus about a lot of things, and this is one of them. Like, Dream's already going through so much shit. I shouldn't even call him Dreams. Patrick fucking Clark. Patrick Clark is going through a whole bunch of shit, whether it is brought upon himself or not. And I don't see the need to add extra onto what is already, out there, on his record or his basically his I wouldn't even say criminal record. Let's not even put it there. But his personal record, he's already been arrested for things,
right.
So why even throw the accusations on it? We had Speaking Out, which is basically either cleanse the palate of the wrestling business, I guess you can say, or maybe the surface, or it's ruined some people's careers, or you can carry around a briefcase and basically nothing has happened. People's not complaining about your past, or or you're just basically walking scot-free because either people love you or people just fucking don't. And in this case, why would people like Patrick Clark? I'm not saying in a negative light, but why would people like Patrick Clark? He was having great matches on NXT. If you're clearly lying to yourself if you don't think that he was having great matches on NXT.
You know,
great character, but his personal demons got the best of him. We've seen the reports however many fucking times. His personal demons got the best of him.
And not for nothing. I know, low key, I know the four corners of commentary. Yes, we may get a little bit of slack because yes, we have went on here and have basically we have obviously publicly stated on this podcast. You know, we really were fans of the Velveteen Dream. We were fans of Patrick Clark. We really saw that he had it. He had the it factor. He literally had all the gifts. That was, if he was to be the next megastar, he would have been it. Like, he's the only one that we know that actually was able to get a montage of basically a montage of Prince, of basically paying homage to Prince. He basically got Prince over in the wrestling business, and obviously, you know, that was always a dope quality to have. That was dope to see. And granted, yes, even with all the allegations that came out, we still stand firm and, like, you know, we believe in what we believe. You know, other people, I guess, court of public opinion will probably give us slack for that. We just weren't the podcast that was going out tearing this man down, especially because, one, we're not SVU. We're not SVU, so we don't got much of a say in any of this. We just wasn't going to take part in the whole court of public opinion smearing another name, and honestly, we wasn't going to do it. Besides the fact, because he's black. We personally, we don't tear down. We really don't tear down any black folk on this fucking podcast. At least we don't try to. So to see even now, after everything that's happened to him, you know, he's still trying to make do. I've said it before. I said it the other day. Honestly, with all the things going on with him, you know, with what he's arrested over, you saw what he was arrested over. I always said, just pray that he gets the help that he eventually needs to, like, really, like, get it back on track. But what I'm not going to do is just sit here and keep on. We're not going to sit here and keep kicking the man while he's down. It's enough is enough. Like, y'all got to sit here and be like, all right, you already know he's going through enough already. He's already not in the wrestling business. If anything, all he has is just to sit here and tell his side of the story, his truth, because that's what everybody is entitled to. You're entitled to tell your truth, no matter how much it will bother some folk. You still, the only thing, it's your story. No one can take it away from you. It's your story. The only thing he is, if he's doing that, is just telling the story.
Telling the truth.
We gotta respect
that. Right, and that's regardless if it's bullshit or not.
Yeah,
it's
like,
his truth.
It's his
That's
truth.
the story he's going to tell. So, us, you know, and podcasters, you know, we're gonna run with it. We're gonna talk about it, like, whatever. That's what we're fucking here for. You know, we're here to give our opinion about the wrestling business. This is what we do. You know, this is why we do this. But at the end of the day, it all sounds like bullshit. So, and not just Pat. I'm just saying the whole situation in general.
Because
whatever the fuck happened, and these two motherfuckers either need to scrap it out or drop it.
Because that's really what it gets to. Is just like, bro, like, y'all are too fucking grown to sit here and, like, y'all only leaving bits and pieces out. Y'all not really telling the true shit of, like, what happened. Like, all right, so what happened? Why did y'all go? Why did it end up like this? Because y'all not really saying what y'all want to say. You're not trying to, at least.
Right. But, you know, listen, hands up. You know what I'm saying? Like, throw your hands up, like, because this is it's fucking childish. Let's just call it what it is. It's fucking childish at this point. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you're gonna hash it out, like I said, either take it in the ring and actually box it the fuck out, or drop it.
Just drop it. Like, y'all aren't friends. Y'all shouldn't even be talking. Y'all shouldn't even be speaking about each other. Like, bottom line, you're not friends with this man. You shouldn't have spoke about him. Point blank. Period. And that's why he came on that live and said what he needed to say. Like, yo, control your fucking narrative, you asshole. Keep my name out of your mouth. That's it. Done.
Yep. Absolutely. But, you know, hey, what do I always say? It is what it fucking is. So, you know, hopefully there's a hopefully there's some type of solution, whether it's to the public eye or not.
Yeah.
Whether it's like I said, whether it's them scrapping or not, you know, just just let it be known. How many times we got to say it? Stop talking shit. That's just it. Like I said, at the end of the day,
Nothing
that's
more,
just
nothing
fucking it.
less.
So, wait, what'd you say?
I said nothing more, nothing less. Stop
Oh,
talking
yeah,
shit.
word. So, let's get to the fun part now. So we gonna start with the black wrestlings because whatever. I'm fucking up.
Wrestling.
And I spelled it wrong, so it's cool. 500, 2022. So what I would like for us to do, I'm gonna run down the top 10, going from 10 to 1, and then because we all have the list, we'll pick 3 people from the top 250. Because granted, there is a lot of people in the rest that deserve to be shouted out. I can at least say, between us, I've had the pleasure to talk to a lot of these talents, and they definitely deserve to be on the list. But we'll do that because we are talking about both the BW 500 and the PWI that was just released. PWI, excuse me, 500 that was just released. So, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right.
Let's do it.
10 was frontman Jossie, right? That's how you say it. Am I saying it wrong? If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Just bear with me. 9, Big E. 8, AC Mack. 7, Jade Cargill. 6, Ricky Starks. 5, Jonathan Gresham. 4, Carmelo Hayes. 3, Bobby Lashley. 2, Swerve Strickland. And number 1 is the current Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair. First and foremost, let's talk about these 10. Now we've looked through the list. Of course, we agree with some, agree with, once again, opinions. How do y'all feel about this 10?
Number 1 is rightfully deserved, no matter what.
Absolutely.
She obviously is on a tear. She's still been on a tear. Everyone could sit here and try to complain and say like her run has been boring. I strongly disagree. I think it's on the reason why everyone would be against it. Her being number 1 is because she's a face. If Bianca Belair was a heel right now, she would be on a monster tear right now because the EST is actually perfect as a heel. But
It's true.
But it's also her being as a face. It shows that she can branch out and she could still be that superhero for young black girls over here watching. Not to say she could have been the same thing still as a heel. No matter what, once you see Bianca Belair on your TV screen, she commands the attention. What you don't see, what you may want to complain about with her in promos, you see her always shine out when you see it in the matches. But the thing that makes her stand out even more is she still has the charisma as a champion. Mm-hmm. She has that charisma no matter what. Like for the new age, if this is the new age of going for the new women's revolution, it's perfectly fine for seeing her as a figurehead. She's good as a champion. She's good. She's phenomenal when she's chasing the belt. But as a champion, she's still finding her ground. She's still holding firm. She has a tight grip on the Raw Women's division. There ain't much else. There ain't really much else others that she needs to challenge her because she's beating them all. She's basically beating everybody. She basically has beaten everybody on a scale on this roster. Save for Naomi or Raquel Gonzalez or hell even Aaliyah.
Some of the NXT, or newer to NXT, I should say, some of the newer to NXT women.
Yeah.
And there's a few that she hasn't wrestled yet. I don't. Oh, we got Mark in the building. What's good, brother?
Shit.
From behind the barricade.
Mark, what's going on,
good, bro?
What's going on, fellas? We got a little Uso action.
So hey, you man, you already know. Anyways, but I don't think she's wrestled Alexa yet, has she? Not for a title.
No, she has
So
wrestled.
so
At
just
all,
little.
I don't think. Did she?
I didn't
No.
think she has it all,
Who we
honestly.
talking about?
No.
Bianca.
Bianca.
Bianca and Alexa.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think
I
she's had a
don't
match
think
with
she's.
Alexa.
Yeah, nah.
And she had the one with Asuka, right? Or she had the one singles and the triple threat
Yeah.
Yep.
with Becky.
Yep.
So there is still a lot of people that she can wrestle.
Oh yeah.
But like you said, man, she's well deserving of that number one spot. She carries that title with grace, which
Yeah,
is
she
which
does.
is which is rare to say. As a matter of fact, I'll be bold enough to say that she's the Serena Williams of the WWE. Uh, nah, nah, I don't know.
That's
Not yet.
no.
Sasha's still there, so well, you know what I'm saying. So I might be pushing it,
I think Sasha's one. Yeah.
but yeah, probably. But but she has that demeanor. Girls love her,
Yeah.
guys love her, but not just because they're fucking pervs, but because they actually appreciate the talent. True wrestling fans appreciate what she does and how she carries that title and how she's carried the SmackDown title, how she's held herself two WrestleMania main events back to back. Like
Yeah.
and she beat two of the best probably in WWE history. So she absolutely deserves that number one spot. Um, you know what? I wanna jump to someone that striking QS will say we're not worthy, we're not worthy. Number three, the Almighty Bobby Lashley, current U.S. title champion,
Rightfully.
current U.S.
That's
champion.
it. That's another one that's right. No matter what, rightfully fucking deserved. I mean,
Yep.
say everybody can sit here and want to say what they want, but Bobby's return from when he was doing before he was doing like post MMA and everything. His second run of what he's done in the E is phenomenal. It's phenomenal work.
From the
Yeah.
You
Hurt
would have
Business
thought,
on.
you would have thought that everything was
Well,
a little shady, was a little shady when he was dealing with Leo
Lana.
Rush. He had the Leo Rush as a stable, and it was be like, oh, okay, Bobby's
She
just.
was still pretty entertaining.
Leo was
It was,
great.
it was entertaining, but it
And
wasn't.
not that.
Leo was great. It was Lana that was
It
the
wasn't.
problem.
Yeah, the
It was
Lana
after,
part.
but it was
when-
after Lana that where he truly picked up.
Yeah,
Well, right,
that
but
Lana shit made no
everybody,
sense.
but everybody thought that when he had the whole segment with Lana, they thought like, oh, Bobby's career is not going nowhere. And then
Yeah.
you aligned him with MVP, and then the Hurt Business is formed. And this is where you see it. It's just like, all right, he still had when he won back the United States title, he had a strong with the Hurt Business when he had the United States title. He had a stronghold. He literally had a stronghold with that title. He brought the legitimacy of it back, even though Vince
Right.
wasn't really showcasing it like that. You still saw Bobby was still a hard worker. Then when it was Bobby going against the Miz, and Bobby ended up beating the Miz on Raw. Bobby
Yep.
showed y'all that he could be a solidified WWE champion because he was. He still went into that WrestleMania while it was still post COVID, and he ended up
He
coming out on
whooped
top.
his
Ended
ass.
up winning. He won. He defeated Drew. He won. And that was such a good ass moment because it was like that was the first time in so many years that we had an actual black wrestler, a black wrestler, even a black man actually come out to be on the main event, the main stage, the show of the Immortals, and still win and keep the title. He didn't lose it. He didn't lose it. So that's where it's like, all right. And that's when even you thought like even after that, well, he ended up losing. If he ended up losing the belt, he lost to the Big E. You thought like, all right, well, I guess Bobby is done. No, Bobby still came back in, still fucking shit up, still was killing shit, still was doing his thing. Had another run as a WWE champion, still showing that he's a solid worker. You could rely on him. And then he came with this United States title, and he's been legitimizing this shit ever since. The United States title, the United States title is one of the, if anything, one of the mainstays of Monday Night Raw than the actual WWE Universal Champion. You care more about seeing Lashley on screen than you care about seeing Roman. It's not, no, it's the truth. Truth is truth. We don't care really to see Roman. Y'all care to see Roman on SmackDown. Y'all don't care to see Roman on Raw because there's so much other talent that we can focus on looking on Raw. And Bobby is a mainstay. He's a mainstay on that shit.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that he's number 3 on this list. I would have probably even put Bobby. I'd have put Bobby at number 2. But it's still 3.
Can we just say that his suit game alone gives him that third place?
Oh, his suit game lately has been fucking.
Suit game's on point.
It's untouchable. And that's really
the suit that he was wearing the other day, bro.
Yeah,
insane.
Oh, people was talking shit about it though, but that's neither here nor there.
These are also the same people that got so used to seeing fucking Seth Rollins wear these fucking ASOS type suits every fucking Monday. They don't know what a real good 3-piece suit looks like. So it's just like that's how you know. It's just like, bro, like ever since he aligned himself with MVP, you look like a champion. You look made him look like you already know he was championship material, but he even has the look down pat. Can't hate on it.
Seth Rollins, I don't know what was going on with Seth Rollins the other day. He was looking like a gay pimp at the Saints Row.
Whatever, man. If that's his style, nah.
It's like
okay, whatever. Oh no, I was gonna just get Mark on something real quick.
Oh wow.
Number 4, Carmelo Hayes. Talk about it.
Carmelo Hayes, man. Oh my god, bro. That boy ain't doing it. You don't like him? You not fucking
well,
him?
he's no.
nah.
Oh no. This is.
I was about to say
Melo
don't miss.
Period.
No, Melo don't miss. Period.
He said from day one, Melo don't miss. Anything he shoot for, he hit all the time.
Unfortunately, he did miss on Tuesday, but I digress.
But
he
didn't miss. But look at it this way.
The match was great.
So
the match was great. I wouldn't call that a miss at all.
Way different. Man makes the title. Title doesn't make the man.
Absolutely. He will have more titles.
And look where he could land. He could land on SmackDown.
That's
to be honest,
he could land on SmackDown.
Give him that fucking NXT title.
But that's what I'm saying is like I just wonder. All right, y'all literally lost the A champion. The A champion. He no longer has his North American title. I get it. You gave
right. Well, put it this way now. Do you see him having a run against Braun Breaker?
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to allude to next. Is like, if will y'all push him to say let him go after Braun and let him basically run NXT period now because he's not the real A champion. If you want to say that now, you want to call it with the NXT title, he's the true A champion, or would you rather just say fuck it, put him clearly either on you wouldn't want to put him on SmackDown because the SmackDown does need some star power.
SmackDown's going to end up being oversaturated with great talent, and that shouldn't sound like a bad thing, but the problem is it's similar to AEW where like people might end up getting lost in the mix.
Yeah, because that's the thing. It's like
with a 2-hour time frame.
Do you really want to like put Melo on SmackDown now to make him get lost in sauce? I don't know. Like I just would be like, damn, but I feel like he doesn't. He needs to be on a TV screen where millions of fans are watching than him being on a TV screen where only at best 728,000 are still watching him. Like he needs that.
It's a big fish in a little pond right now.
Yeah.
We know this.
He does need to be in that he does need to be in that $1 million gate. He don't need to be in a WNBC anymore as well. Like it's
I'll put it like this, Q. Think of it this way, right? And this is the only reason I don't want him to get called up yet. So as we know, there's a brand new regime, so things are going to be different. The only reason I don't want him to come up is because I guess maybe I was thinking about this a couple days ago. Hypothetically speaking, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say he faces Braun between now and November. Okay, that gives you 2 months. Hell, you could do a 2-month build-up. Let's say he beats Braun Breaker.
True.
It's possible, and it'll be believable based off of the year that he's had as the North American champion.
Very true.
Right? What's the next of the big four coming up?
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Yeah, Survivor Series.
Who has 2 titles?
Obviously, Roman.
A bunch of people.
There's a bunch of them.
True. Very true.
Braun
right.
has it.
So if you're gonna have a Survivor Series match,
Roman,
where there's a champion versus champion, why wouldn't you do the NXT champion versus the WWE Universal champion?
that's if he wants the match. But I think I said this during the prediction thing we did um before Worlds Collide. I said you can put this man in any match against any person. Doesn't matter if it's the first time, doesn't matter if it's the 10th time. He's shown you and you've seen at Worlds Collide what this man can do with any bit of fucking talent.
Yeah. Well, supposedly, and I read this on Sportskeeda the other day. And I've been reading this actually a lot off of Sportskeeda. There's talks of Triple H possibly having to sit down with Roman about splitting those titles up again.
Yeah,
that's been the rumor.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. We're get to that down the road because that would be by Survivor Series anyway. So we'll push that later. But yeah,
for Melo, man. Like I at this point have him on both shows, have him on all shows because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you put him.
But you don't want to drain him either. You know what I mean? You don't want to wear him out before he reaches his. No, but being on all three shows is draining. It would be draining.
It could be 1 week on Raw. It could be 1 week on SmackDown.
No, I understand what you're saying, but it's about travel. That's the problem. The problem is travel.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? So putting him on all three shows would drain a lot of that energy. So even if so that's fine. Let's say he goes to Raw, right? Let's just for the sake of argument, he goes to Raw. Yeah, he can go to Raw, then go back to Florida. I'm pretty sure he lives in Florida right now anyway. So it wouldn't be as bad. You know what I mean? But once again, you don't want to drain your talent. You know, the Usos have been doing this for so long. And I'm not saying he hasn't, but like they can go to Raw, they can go to SmackDown. Fuck it, they can go to NXT, honestly. But bottom line is that, you know, kind of like I get what you're saying too, because they could do to him what they're probably going to do with Solo, with Sikoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's definitely going to show up on SmackDown tomorrow with the North American title.
But this is why I say it makes sense to do that with him at the moment. It doesn't have to be a forever thing. But I don't think he's done with the North American Championship, regardless of him having the run he had.
Oh, see, I think he shouldn't even touch the North American Championship again. He needs to go for the NXT title.
Because Solo still has to come back to NXT.
No, right.
At some point.
No, absolutely. But at that point, why wouldn't you want somebody like Carmelo Hayes to go for the NXT title? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, put it this way: unless you have a situation where they down the line decide to bring Solo up and actually full on make him a member of the Bloodline, and then throw the IC title on him.
Well, he is a full member of the Bloodline.
I mean, he is a member of the Bloodline. You can't.
I think they were trying. I think the whole point and issue of him winning the title is 1, they wanted to give him a belt from NXT. 2, they have been heavily promoting NXT. History of NXT, NXT 2.0, NXT UK. They have heavily been promoting the history of these people getting called
possibly up. Going back to the black and gold brand.
Oh, not possibly. It's happening.
Or white and gold.
Or white and gold. They should want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's going back. That whole little package at the end of the last hour, the last anniversary show.
I wouldn't even say it's going back. It looks like it really is just evolving. It's evolving. Yeah. They're going forward.
It's 3.0.
Right. Yeah, because again, like this is gonna have the shades of a little bit of black and gold, but it's still going to have like character development that you've been seeing in 2.0. This is the future. They're just going to combine the both, which is okay.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people was talking shit about, ew, the colors, ew, this, ew, my eyes. Like, first off, shut the fuck up and enjoy the product. But I've said that from the very first day we started the podcast. Secondly, it's really not as bad as everybody says it is.
There never was. Like
not in the least bit.
Even like I said, everyone just used the color as another excuse as to not want
Right.
to watch NXT.
The biggest problem,
Right.
yeah, and the biggest
Any
problem with
excuse,
it
right?
was the fact that it just lacked creative directive. That was it. It needed creative directive, and now it has creative directive,
It does.
and it got drastically better.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to. You know what? Let's do two each so we can get to the PWI.
Okay.
Who y'all want to start with? Like the
Off the
honorable
list?
mentions. Yeah.
I think I'll look at the list. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think there's one obvious one that we gotta say.
Shout out to Mr. Darius Carter, number
Sir.
19.
Number 19.
Our previous
Well
guest on the
deserved.
show. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Great show.
Obviously, we are
my
not.
dad, fellas.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right now he's
we are clearly not worthy, and this man is just rising the ranks every year, and that is just a testament of hard work, skill, talent, if you will. So number 19, I don't remember his rank last year. I can probably go check it in a little bit, but to be in the top 20 of international black talent, sir, you are most definitely climbing these ranks very quickly
And above some and by any means, I'm not discrediting his talent, his work, his work ethic. You know, he's above some very heavy names. And I think that just goes to show how important he really is, not only to the indie scene, but to the wrestling scene as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, right now he's on vacation. It's actually, so I know it's a dope and it's a elating feeling to probably sitting on a beach and you're getting the news about this, like saying, not only are you like you're number 19, obviously in the BWI, but you also rose up in the ranks of the PWI list as well. I know that's a humbling feeling for him. I bet I can only imagine it's a humbling feeling for him actually, but I know it's his work speaks for itself. If you guys ever want to go back and tune into last week's episode of when we interviewed him, he gave so many gems of how what he does to put himself in that mindset of just trying to always keep getting better. He's like, all right, even if there was a stop in the road for him, current road for him, he always he'll sit back and think about it and be like, cool, what's the next plan for me to do to make this better? He's always minds like that, that they got it. They have the it factor already. It's already a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before any of these other promotions pick up on him and really grab him. But right now you can see it in the industry. He's one of those pillars. He's the one. Because he's got it. He's got the whole business. He's got it in the palm of his hands. It's just a matter of which one of these promotions is actually going to be willing to take the chance and just pick him up and just be like, yo, let this guy run our company, because
respectfully, I truly think he would shine on NXT. Honestly, if he was
he'd shine anywhere he was
NXT,
signed.
he would, yeah, absolutely.
He would
shine everywhere he was signed. He would
put NXT on the map, bro.
But he would soar. I agree with you on that. He would soar as an NXT champion. He would soar. It would be like shit. Yeah.
Bro, fuck NXT. Do exactly the promotion he said, because he would look so good with that damn NWA title.
That would be great.
Actually, if anything, I would believe that
title was made for him.
I would believe
that title is gorgeous.
I would believe that if he was to even go to NWA, and he was even to win that title, he would bring them from it. He definitely would be the one. He'd be the one to bring that promotion from obscurity. He'd be able to put them back really on
let me tell you, bro, I'm so happy I got to hold that fucking title in my hands that one day, bro, when I used to work for TSA, man. Oh, man. That title is so gorgeous, bro. That was back when Nick Aldis was champ.
Right.
So I'm going to cheat a little bit.
That was great.
I'm actually trying to see if all of them are up. I know
for what? The BW?
Nope, yeah, all of them are up. So we always shout them out because it's well deserved. All of STP is in the top 250.
Okay.
So that Shane Taylor is actually I just saw it.
It's a nice pick.
Shane Taylor is 30. O'Shea is 46. Khan is 63. Moses is I just saw it too. Shit. I know Rev is 173 and Moses is 170. So shouts out to all 5 of them being in the top 250. I mean, we all know how hard they work. You know, you got Shane, who I believe still has 4. Actually, he might have 5 titles soon. He's about to he's about to have a match title for title. So Shane got 4 titles. Not 100% sure about
Rev has 4
O'Shea
apparently.
and Moses. No, Rev does have 4.
Yeah.
Like
That's
not
said
apparently.
apparently.
That's
I
a
don't.
fact. No, I'm telling you, he has 4. I've seen it. Seen it with my own eyes. But shouts out to all of them, and I'm just gonna skip ahead real quick and just say shouts out to Prolific, man. Actually, Isaiah Wolf and Marcus Marquis are literally one from each other.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to find the other Shane. No, Terry. Excuse me, Terry Taylor. That's his name. I'm trying to find it, but I don't know. My eyes are fucking with me right now. So, but yeah, man. Shouts out to them. Proud of all of you, man. Proud to know y'all niggas like on some real shit. Real proud. Q. You got anybody to spotlight real quick?
I mean, you already know I've already gave them the spotlight already. You know, I already gave my shout out props to Bianca. Bianca, I already told y'all, like, no shout outs to her for being number 1. Like,
No, outside of the top 10.
Outside of the top 10. I mean, I never actually got to see the actual list, so I didn't.
Okay.
I sent it.
Yeah, like you sent it you sent it too late then. I wasn't able to see that, so I didn't get to actually see the actual names and be like, all right, who's
Oh, I got one you might be happy about. Montez Ford is 27.
Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Higher or lower?
I wanted Tez to be a little.
You know,
As much as I love him, he got to be a little bit lower. Like,
what?
only because it's like, bro, like
Tez before Nyla Rose, or Tez after Nyla Rose?
I sent the list. Just people list.
Yeah. Oh, if anything, I'd even say this. Looks like it's highway robbery is the fact that Sasha Banks is 21. That's just like
Sasha and Naomi's 21, 22.
Yeah, 22, 21, 22.
I mean, they haven't done much. They haven't done much within the time period.
After she left,
because they left, I guess.
Shout out to Willow.
The rest of these people.
No. I gave outside of the top 20. Let me see again.
Rest of the people's been doing crazy shit. Trisha Dora,
Myron Reed being 16, bro.
I feel Athena, dope. I'll say this. I feel like Athena should be lower. Definitely should be lower.
Where's she at?
Athena 29.
She's at 29. Athena needs to be lower.
Yeah, no.
And then they no disrespect to Athena. It's like I said, excellent work ethic, great ring general. But it's just, I still am not. I guess I'm just not a fan of how they're using her in
AEW.
No, I'm not a fan of how they were using her in AEW, but at the same time, I wasn't really a fan of how they were using her. And I guess the later run of her career of NXT, I like.
Yeah, her second NXT run.
Yeah, it just wasn't. It just isn't like. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what is, if it's because they're not. Because I only want to say, like, the ring skill is there. I don't know if it's because it's just the charisma is just not connecting. It doesn't connect with me, so to speak. It just doesn't connect with me. Because even then, because when she had her match, even with Jade Cargill, I just wasn't invested. No matter what, there was, and the match only lasted like 4 minutes, so that tells you everything. And I know Athena can go for longer than a 4-minute match. It just is. That's why I say, like, for respect,
protect the champion, you know.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing. That's why I
Yeah,
say
but
like
you could
put it lower.
but you could protect your champion and still have a long match. You know what I
Well,
mean?
never know what's actually happening because we don't know
And
what
honestly, I
Jade's
think
body
well
situation is at
well
this point.
right, but think of it this way too. I think the Athena match has shown Jade as at her weakest
Right.
during her AEW career. So, if anything, or no matter how long the match might have been, it definitely showed that there's cracks in the game, you know. So
Oh
Well,
yeah, and
that's the
Ricochet needs
story
to,
of streaks.
and Ricochet definitely needs to be higher as well. Ricochet needs to be
oh,
higher.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
like
his
I,
especially in the past few months,
hell yeah,
he's been on a tear, man.
yeah,
He
yeah.
should definitely be a bit higher.
Ricochet's the
And
My
Ricochet's the,
honestly,
my special, well, go ahead, and
no,
then
no,
I'll
go ahead,
go
go
on.
ahead.
My
No,
special
go ahead.
choice is actually Fred Rosser.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad, not bad for Fred Rosser. Yeah,
He's
Mm,
killing it in strong.
yeah.
he's been absolutely great.
Current champ too.
Even with just the uncertainty of him coming back. I wouldn't say him coming back necessarily, but you didn't know what to expect from him coming
Yeah,
back, and then to be signed to New Japan. If New Japan is signing you, even on strong, that's huge. That means they believe in you as a talent. They want
right.
you on their TV screens, and that you're bringing something. I wouldn't just say different, but you can match the strong style coming out of Japan.
Right.
And for him to have the matches he did with, I believe it was Filthy Tom he had the matches with,
Yes,
because it says
sir.
Filthy Tom was champion.
Yeah.
To
Tom,
even get over on
uh,
somebody of that nature, of that stature, in New Japan Strong for the run that he was on, that's a huge rub. So not only because he's a black man, but because of where he's come from. He's come from just being in the tag team to being with Bob Backlund to now, running shit at New Japan Strong.
Yeah,
So shout out
and
to you, Fred Rosser. I
sure.
hope your career elevates to even higher levels from here.
And I mean, there's a lot of names, even from 250 to 500, no, 251 to 500. And there's a lot of names in there that
It's a big
that we
fucking
all
list.
kind that we all kind of know personally. Like I can talk about Stan Michaels. We can talk about Sahara 7. We could talk about
Tasha Steele,
uh jeez. I mean, honestly, like we can just keep going. Armari Miller. Uh
Tasha Steele needs to
I
be
mean,
a little bit higher.
there's really just so many people.
What is Tasha
Yeah.
Steele's
Um,
rate on that list?
Yeah, that's a good
Tasha,
question.
She's like 60.
uh,
I think she's 60.
yeah, I think you're right.
65.
Yeah, 65. That's why I say
Yeah,
needs to be higher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
definitely needs to be higher.
Swole and Seto won from each other too. 104 and 105.
Personally, me, I would have put Tasha Steele's at least in the 40s.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. And shout out to Midas, to ringleader Midas being at 114.
There's Big Swole on
Shout out
that
to the
list.
main event. I just 104.
104.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, there really is. I mean, the list obviously goes on and on, but at the end of the day, if we didn't mention you, especially if we fuck with you, we apologize, but we are proud of everybody who made the list. Um, keep showing out, keep doing your thing, keep putting on black excellence. We're proud of you. We know the culture is proud of you. Thank you so much. Um, so gents, if you could just round of applause for everybody who made the list.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You did your
Real
thing.
proud of it. For
Continue to
damn
keep
sure.
doing your thing because at the end of the day, wrestling is black. That's the future
Damn
of
right
wrestling.
it is.
The
Just like
future of wrestling
everything
is black.
fucking else. Um, let's jump to the comments real quick. We got Earl. Long time no see, fellas. How's everything going? We're good, brother. Hope everything is all good with you. Court. Hey, my brothers. What's
Hey,
good,
Corey.
Courtney?
Yeah, I don't want to read my
Also,
comments.
real quick, even before I get there, um, shout out to Kofi Weekston being on Top Rope Squishy today. Hell of a show.
Damn, I
Hell of a
missed it. I
fucking
said I
show.
was gonna be there. Shit.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm
They
gonna
they did
watch
their
it.
thing. They did their thing. Um, Mark said happy belated birthday to me. He called me the grandfather of commentary, but you know what? Fuck it, I'll take it.
Old ass.
All right. Whatever they got, I'll be old. Still
It's
get it
all
in
good.
though. All right, so So, yeah, the PWI 500 dropped 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh
And
boy. Here we go.
the list is interesting.
Sketchy at best.
That's yeah, it's interesting. Let's play the same game. Top 10 down.
What is
Number 10,
BWI again? Sorry.
Pro Wrestling
Pro
Illustrated.
Wrestling Illustrated.
Okay, gotcha.
Jonathan Gresham, 10, former Ring of Honor
Number
Torch.
1?
Should have never been 10.
I agree with you.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Really?
And this is no disrespect to him. Not at all.
Really?
Once again, our opinions are not to be disrespectful. It's just our opinions based off of what we've seen, how we felt, what we feel like they've done.
You're doing 10-1 right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you're done, I'll express
Number
my
9.
opinion.
Ironically, the same number as BW5 or same person as BW 500, which is Big E. Well deserved.
Well observed.
Elio del I don't. It's actually cut off there.
Vikingo.
Vikingo.
Fuck, how you say that?
What is it?
Joe Spanish has.
Type
Elio
it on
del.
this.
Can y'all type it real quick
Yeah.
in the chat? But he is CMLL. I believe he's their world champion right now. I could be wrong, so excuse me if I am, but I know he has been putting on some fucking amazing matches.
Yes.
Number 7 is Ryan Danielson.
It's
Number 6 is Martin Luther Jackson Francisco Cody Rhodes. Number 5 is the Almighty Bobby Lashley.
Should have been
champion.
higher.
Nah. This is well deserved either way.
Number 4 is Hangman Adam Page.
Way lower.
I don't know about way lower, but lower. Number 3, CM Punk.
Definitely lower.
Definitely.
Number 2, Kazuchika Okada. Always
Perfect.
top 3. Don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Well,
And number 1, as it fucking should be, is the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns.
Okay, so
no disputes here about that.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. No, I'm gonna say this about especially with this top 10. Shout out to Jonathan Gresham for getting it at number 10. I don't really give a damn how anybody else feels about the situation. He feels this is probably gonna stroke his ego even more to be like, he deserved. He's a top 10. He did, if anything, this deserves him to get more money or get more better booking. He still is a hell of an athlete. He's still a hell of a performer. He does his thing. He does his thing.
He can work with anybody.
Yeah, he can work with anyone. He's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Even given the controversy that you saw, what happened with the whole thing with Ring of Honor, that's just another convo for another day. He still deserves this. Bryan Danielson, and the likes of CM Punk definitely they don't need to be in the top 10. They don't need to be in the top 10. And the reason why I say they don't need to be in the top 10 is because well, for one, Bryan Danielson I felt like he's doing what he's supposed to do as the vet. He's putting the talent over, and that's okay for you to put the talent over. So you're making them look good. You don't need to be in the top 10 aspect. Now everybody already knows what Phil don't even need to be in the top 10. He does damn sure don't even need to be in the top 20 because of half the shit that he's been putting, the matches he's put on lately. The last good match he put on was with MJF. That was the last great feud that he had. Anything else that you've seen him do has been utter shit. It's always been trash. It just goes to show that
mediocre at best.
Mediocre is stretching. It's stretching it even for him. He's 43. He just let's tell the truth. At the age of 43, you cannot expect to sit here and come back and think that you were going to be still in decent shape from knowing that you stepped away from professional wrestling 7 years ago. You clearly don't have it. That mark has been missed. You are literally just getting by off of nostalgia alone and your star power. Literally the very thing that you used to fucking shit on back in your day when you were on your hell of a tear in WWE. Truth is truth. Hangman Adam Page deserves, if anything, Hangman Adam Page actually deserves to be number 3 because Page actually was putting his fucking company on his fucking back. Everybody wants to sit here and act like he didn't do it. Oh, he didn't bring all the ratings. That's fine. Yeah, but y'all was definitely, everybody else was cheering for his ass when he was out here chasing for that belt, and he was the savior from the fucking elite, and it worked. Storyline time, it worked. The only problem, the reason why, if y'all feel like he should be lower, is because of who he was. You got to look at who he was fucking feuding with. He's feuding with Phil Brooks. That's the fucking problem. That was the problem. That's not his fault. It's not his fault right there.
I mean, look, we all know at the end of the day, verbally, not many people could fuck with CM Punk. Like, that's just the truth. You know what I mean? We've seen it multiple times, time again. But as you said, man, it's just your body of work is everything. And your body of work does not rank you to be number 3. And I mean that respectfully.
Bottom line.
Like, I have the utmost respect for him, regardless of what happens. But it's not number 3. Now, you know what? No.
Okada being number 2. Okada could be number 2 or number 1, and it would never fucking matter because he's God.
Nope.
He's literally the God of
top 3 all the time.
He's literally the god of professional wrestling. It doesn't fucking matter as long as he's in the top 3 of that list. It's deserved. And now, yes, I may not be the fan of y'all tribal chief. I may not be a fan of his work. I may not be a fan of him essentially, but I know money when I see it. I know money when I see it, and Roman's money. Roman has been money. He's been money for the past 2 fucking years. Like I said, not even 2, the past 3 years, he's been fucking money. The man he's in 1,000 days. This man has not eaten a pin. That is something that nobody is essentially talking about. Only dirt sheets only give that little tidbit here and there. It's like nobody's really, but the truth, no one's talking about this. This man has not taken a pin. He has not. He has not taken a pin. He hasn't ate a pin. Hasn't lost in 1,000 days.
He's lost.
He's lost, but he hasn't lost into it.
He just hasn't had a pin, right?
He has not lost by pinfall in
which is insane.
Days.
Pinfall or submission.
Yeah, that's insane.
So, Kay, you want to laugh? So, whatever the hell his full name is,
it's Vikingo. Is the name?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All I got is L.E. Holdell.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was trying to. It's Viking in Spanish, bro.
Oh, Viking! I got you right now. Hold on.
Vikingo, yeah.
Vikingo, probably.
That's literally his name, Vikingo.
Even then,
he's son of Vikingo.
Big E, he's all right where he's at.
Yeah,
it's well deserved regardless. Bobby Lashley, I was happy to see Bobby Lashley in the top fucking 10. I was happy.
He was in the top 10 last year, if I remember.
I'm happy to see him even at number 5. It's just like,
but he should be higher.
That's the dope thing.
No, it's okay. Bobby where he's at.
Okay.
Bobby where he's at is perfectly fine because I'm just glad that all of y'all are giving that man the recognition that he fucking deserves.
Yes, sir.
That's all that matters to me. He's getting the fucking recognition, and he deserves it. He deserves it, and then some.
I agree.
But after that top 10, I don't really give. I think the only one that I was happy for is, again, Darius Carter getting 179. Other than that, I don't give a shit about anybody else on this fucking PWI list. I don't really care. Some of y'all are gonna sit here. Some not y'all as the ones here on the panel, but a lot of fans are gonna sit here and feel the way about John Moxley not being in the top 10. Personally, Moxley didn't deserve it the way he doesn't deserve to be in the top 10. That's just if you want to call it what it is, the only one out of AEW's like top stars that really deserved to be in that top 10 was Paige. Hangman. Everybody else is just like, you've seen it already.
I respectfully disagree with you. I think Moxley definitely deserves to be in the top 10. Granted, he's number 12, which is still not bad by any fucking means when it's a list of 500 goddamn people. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, he's been doing his thing, man. Ever since his battle, ever since he came back, even when he was a little messed up mentally and everything, he was still doing his thing. Like,
I don't want to sound
not deniable.
I don't want to sound fucked up, but I feel
No,
like
man. Speak
I
it.
feel like a lot of people are just playing on that card. That's a
Mhm.
sympathy card.
They are.
To me,
No,
that's
I get it. I
to
get
me
that.
that's yeah. To me, that sounds like a sympathy card because at the end of the day, what he's doing now is what he was doing then when it was during the fucking pandemic. It wasn't. There's not
Right.
been that much of a change in the
Nope.
style. If anything, the only thing is now he's just not. He's
That's
not
how
wearing.
he's approaching it.
Yeah, he's not wearing. He's just not wearing the shorts, but it's still the same fucking promos. It's still the same passionate promos. It's still the same style of a match. It's still the same. You're gonna get yourself 9 times out of 10.
Right,
You're gonna
but
bloody. He's gonna bloody
here's
himself in a match.
here's
It's
the
just
thing,
like
Q. Well, outside of the blood, because we've all had that discussion, and I agree. Blood is too the amount of blood that this man has spilled is ridiculous. But would you say that regardless, because let's say the same argument could be done for Roman, right? Because that's the way a lot of fans think. He does the same shit, blah 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 blah, whatever the case may be. Even though he has evolved his game, we won't go there. But would you say, even though you feel that way, the quality of matches are still good, like are still deserving to be up there?
eh, are we talking about Roman or are we talking about John?
No, we're talking about Moxley.
Uh it's it's
I mean, granted, he's still number 12.
All due
it,
respect, though,
And I know the
it
discussion is me
depends.
saying him being top 10, but
I think
I
it
feel like
depends.
lately it hasn't so much been Mox with how he's been performing in the ring. It's been who he's being booked against.
Yeah, it's like
I get that.
you got to put
I
that.
I get that.
don't. I disagree with that completely.
I don't
Completely
know.
disagree with that.
I don't
Because how
know.
are you having great matches with Takeshita, who has never wrestled you before?
But you
Well,
can't
no,
have.
that was
You're
a
in the
great
ring.
match.
No, I understand that.
I'm
but
talking about.
What?
I'm talking about in general, like as far as the AEW roster goes, who he's been
Yeah,
booked up against.
yeah.
That's what you think
Yeah.
is an issue?
Because I would say like that
No, he's
that
not saying it's the issue. He's saying
it's
that
just it
the
plays into
talent
it
that they're
Is
making him look better than he is.
because not
Oh,
for
okay,
me.
Essentially.
because they're putting
Eh,
him up against
So it's the
weak
same thing
talent.
I'm pretty much saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, because even then you could like I guess another example. You could take one for example. Just take it for yesterday. Mox was against Sammy Guevara. Now we all know, everybody knows Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara, one of the best on the roster. Bam, bam, boom. Spanish God. Already know the thing. Could
Regardless
make
of how
make
people feel
make
about
it
him
look.
personally.
No matter what, it's gonna make it look good. But yet somehow that match, it just was like, I think this is where you were saying like it could be maybe the quality of the match. That just didn't feel like a quality match to me. I'm watching it and I'm like, oh well, okay, there it goes. It's another Mox match, but I think came off. I think that plays to it. Yeah, what you were asking me, it just a lot of the people he's just been booked to wrestle. It just comes off, meh. Even when
Okay.
like
Okay.
even when he was against Punk, the only thing that was really was a shock factor with it is that he beat him in 4 minutes, less than
Right.
4 minutes actually.
Right.
Yeah, like about 4 minutes. That's when he beat him. It was like, oh shit, okay. But other than that, this second go around as a match, it was just like
It was
the
Punk's
big
match.
shock factor about that
That's
was just
it.
seeing
Yeah.
the big shock factor was seeing as like, all right, I guess he gave him the win back in Chicago
Punk
and
being
MJF's going.
dominant was the shock factor with that one.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay, but other than that, it's I don't know. It's like, and I don't know. It's maybe it is to say it has to play into who he's booked against, who he's wrestling. It
Yeah.
just doesn't come out like it's a real good fight feel
Yeah,
match. I
I'm
think
not
the
getting
last
the style factor.
Okay. I understand that.
besides Takashita, I think I ended with this. I think the last match where I was really like invested in a John Moxley match was when he went against Kenny Omega in that lights out
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
That was like the only last time I was like really fucking
Which is
invested.
crazy because I was at the beginning of AEW.
Yeah, see, that says a lot. Like, what? So the last time I was really invested in a John Moxley match was the beginning of AEW, and its inception. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, but you just got to take it for what it is.
The one recent match that I can say that he had, fairly recent, I should say, was and that really did wow me, and I really did enjoy that match. Was the one with him and Wheeler Yuta.
Yes.
That match, Will Yuta held his own in that match.
He did.
I did really fucking like
Will is
that.
the man. I'm so happy people ain't sleeping on him no more.
Yeah, he gave his all in that one. I can't even say that. I can't even go against that. He did.
Yeah.
So as ultimately, I guess you can say it comes down to booking, but like as strong as you try to book this man, it's just not coming off. It's just not coming off like champion material to me. To give this man interim over, having him being in the battle royal where he should have been in the battle royal, as opposed to him just being outside of the battle royal.
Well, the worst. Well, Strike. Remember too, the worst part about that is that he wasn't even number one. He wasn't even a number one contender. It was Wardlow.
Yeah, it was Wardlow.
So, how do you
That's why I was just like,
over Wardlow like that?
And to double back on
Wardlow didn't even have the TNT title yet.
To double back on what Q and K said before about the blood, it's to the point where like the minute Mox starts bleeding in the match, I'm just like, oh, this is gonna be just a fucking another typical John Moxley match. He's gonna get his ass beat the whole fucking match and then win on a fluke.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's switch it off instead of doing like honorable mentions. So now, I mean, look, once again, 500 people is a lot. So let's go with the top. Oh, God, Pac, Phoenix, Ricochet, Ricky Starks is all after 50. Jesus Christmas. So you know what it is too. There's just so many fucking wrestlers. This can't be an easy list by any means.
It's like for you to like kudos to you for really sitting there and actually like,
bro,
you're seeing all this wrestling from so many different promotions and you made this list. Like kudos to you for even finding the time, because I'm gonna keep it a band. I wouldn't have wasted my time with this. I just have my own personal top 10. My own personal top 10, and that's that. I'm not doing all this.
Right.
Like I'm not doing this. It's a waste of paper.
Well, it's a once a year thing, so I guess
Well, yeah.
Why not, right?
Well, here. Well, this is what I meant to do before we started it. This is how they rate it. All right, and it's actually from June 2021 to June 2022.
Okay.
It's win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition. So hence John Moxley, the quality of his competition is up there. You can't deny that. Major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion.
Okay.
And overall wrestling ability. That's a lot to take in. That is a lot of factors to take in for this list.
Yeah.
So let's do this, right? Let's go top. All right, we did the top 10. So let's go from 11 to 50. Who should be higher on the list? I already know mine. I don't know if y'all want me to go first.
All right, so
because mine is easily and top 10. Mine is easily Seth Rollins. You can't tell me Seth Rollins does not deserve to be in the top 10 for the year that he's had.
I would say
championships. I get it. You know,
championships.
He didn't win any championships. His win-loss record, he wasn't winning too. I think for
he didn't win much until recently.
Yeah, I think for the year he's had more losses than wins.
Yeah.
But his quality of competition has been great. His feuds have been the top feuds of Raw. The prominence within the wrestler's promotion, he's top 3 in the WWE, hands down.
Yep.
And the wrestling ability, come on now, that doesn't have to be spoken about.
Nah.
So for him to be 17,
yep,
I mean,
is asinine to me. That's crazy.
I think the only thing that's stopping Seth from even getting into the top 10 again is that win-loss record. You could sit here, you've been put on quality of, you could sit here and say, I'll put on quality of matches you have. Nobody's contesting that. Nobody's contesting that no matter what. If anything, yes, Seth has lost a lot, but it's the fact that even though he's lost, he's still able to be relevant is a plus. But If we just going by what that criteria states, yeah, like bro, like you can have all this good quality and everything, but you still lost. You've lost a lot. You lost almost every big major feud. He's lost. He lost big major feud with Cody. He lost straight three
we
straight
spoke about
times. Lost to
before.
Cody.
Yeah.
And those were like 2 good 5-star matches that you got from out of that, and perfect matches, if anything, if you want to call it that.
Almost,
The match
yeah.
they had in Hell in a Cell, perfect match, lost.
And the thing about Hell in a Cell was just the condition in which
Yeah,
everything happened. You know what I mean?
and the
The
presentation of
ball
it,
for Cody Rhodes,
yeah,
if you will. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, the presentation of it, like seeing this man literally like going against this villainous character with basically one arm,
Yeah.
and basically came out them both looking strong, but
Excuse me.
Cody obviously looking like a god. But
Right. Right.
you gotta just take it for what it is. So I think the loss record is really that's the only thing keeping him out of like
Top
the
10.
top 10 spot.
All right,
So
I
it's
can
like,
see that.
if
I can
anything, if anything, I would say he should be, if not 12, he should be 11. He should be 11.
Yeah, he's right under.
Right
Just
under
damn
it.
sure.
I could agree with that.
Strike.
Mm. Out of
I mean,
what,
hell,
top
your boy's
50 you
11.
said?
Yeah.
I mean, Takagi's always going to either be top 20 or top 10, so I don't really have to speak on that.
I have one that's
Honestly, I think Matt Cardona should be higher. Definitely higher than Moxley at this point.
13, yeah.
You want to say
Yeah,
a
was
man
taking
who's
over.
been on a tear since leaving his home company and winning championships after championships, being undefeated, being in streaks upon streaks in maybe
I mean,
3, 4, 5 different companies,
yeah, something like that. I
holding
mean,
all of their belts. Come
yeah,
on,
I mean,
man.
just two of the top titles off the top of my head is the GCW title and the fucking NWA World's Heavyweight
I
title.
wasn't expecting the NWA title at all. So
Shit, I don't think
that's
anybody.
why I'm saying, like, you're gonna put Moxley here at 12. I can hear everybody's sentiment about match quality. Obviously, he didn't have it. His opponents for sure.
Excuse me.
His opponents for sure. But
Oh
match
yeah.
quality was not there. You're talking about win-loss record. Okay, cool. But if you're going to equate win-loss record with match quality, Punk shouldn't be up there. Page definitely, I can agree with what QS said earlier. Page should at least be 3, but I'm not putting Punk in the top 10. You're just going off of nostalgia and his return. That's all you're doing with that. Punk's best feud was him and MJF. Shit, Punk and Eddie Kingston had a great little feud for a little little bit of time.
And a great match, honestly.
But what has he done since then? He hasn't done anything since then. You're gonna tell me this thing with Mox is making him, or even to have Mox in the in the bottom 20?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I still don't want him at 12, but I don't want him higher than 12 because you have guys that's below him that's doing way better than him.
True.
Yeah.
Shit, I'll even go one down. Josh Alexander has had a fucking amazing year.
Bro, Josh has been crushing it.
So you're telling me he's below Moxley? No, hell no, no way.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely no way.
He should definitely be higher.
Absolutely no way. And you got
Will
Jay
Ospreay
White
being 27.
That's a fucking
that
robbery.
Me up.
That's a
a
robbery. Jay White at 23. That's a fucking robbery.
I mean,
now.
you know what? I'll say this. I'll say with Jay White. I think I'm glad that everybody's starting. I think a lot of the casual fans are starting to pick up on Jay White for real. They're trying to pick up on him. And I think you can thank Forbidden Door for that shit.
Yeah.
Not for nothing.
Impact, honestly.
It's an and
both.
As well.
It's call it what it is.
Yeah, you can tell you what it is. Like he has an impact and he has a presence. He made a statement. He did what he needed to do. But Will Ospreay really not being in the top 10 is actually a true highway robbery. Because Will Ospreay, I've told you, when it comes for a lot of those times when AEW ended up winning those $1 million gates and getting those $1 million ratings, it was because is because you had Will Ospreay in the main. You had him in the way. You had him in the main event.
You know,
when you need ratings or you need something to get pushed in, or you want shit to get pushed through, you want a good match, a possible contending match of the year, quality match. You get it from Will Ospreay. Send Will Ospreay, and he shows it every time.
Here's a question for y'all, and this kind of rubs me the wrong way. I understand people's fault about Eddie or people's issues with Eddie Kingston, but Eddie still puts on great matches. With Eddie being number 40 and Randy Orton being 47,
how long has Randy been gone?
You could keep. First off, you can keep Eddie at 40.
4 months.
You can keep.
There's rumors that he might even be gone longer now.
Yeah.
No, but my whole point and issue is they're doing this for over a year period, right?
You can.
So how are you going to put Eddie at 40 over Randy Orton, who was
because if you really want to keep it a buck, when Randy's been having the time of his fucking life before he got injured, like he was having the time of his life.
But this is what I'm saying. He's only been gone for 4 months.
He was literally gone for 4 months. You can't.
How are you telling me that that's even plausible to put Eddie Kingston at 40?
Oh, when Randy at 47.
Randy at 47. Randy at you can put I'm saying that you can keep Eddie at 40.
Understandable.
But Randy don't need to be in no damn 47 category. This is why I'm saying,
at least be in the 20s.
Should at least be in the 20s. Hell, if you want to put him at 15, all right, cool, 15, whatever. He's in the top 20. He needs to be. He was having the time of his life. Did everyone forget the year before he went and joined with RK Bro? Did everybody just forget the monster heel run he had? Did everyone forget?
The man made a fucking 2-man faction and it fucking worked.
It fucking worked.
Yep.
It absolutely fucking
during the whole fucking COVID season, man was out here kicking people in the head left and right.
Respectfully,
he was just getting kicked in the head.
Respectfully, put Riddle on the map, and the fact that he's even allowing Riddle to use his finishers is fucking insane.
That's trust.
Everything even more. That's trust, because he sees Riddle as the future. So I'm like, how is it that y'all putting him at 47? Yeah, that's where you have to really start.
Dude, they put AJ at 74.
Yeah, they don't.
AJ hasn't done much during the year, though. If you really want me to be honest,
which is true. I mean,
he has
a title run,
but the thing about it,
look at the time period. Watch the time period.
Listen. Looking at that aspect, I could also understand why you feel away, but also you can also accept the fact that AJ actually doesn't have anything to fucking prove anymore. He's already solidified.
He damn sure don't. You're right.
He's solidified, like AJ Styles, solidified GOAT. At this point in his career,
Shawn Michaels is a generation.
He's literally just like here for the bread. He's just here to make sure he got the bread to take care of his kids, his family. All right, cool. You want to put me at 70, 72, 74? That's great. Like I've been, how many times have I before when I was number 1 for the PWI? How many times before I was in the top 10? How many times if you really want to go back to what I did for this whole business, you can go look back at my run at New Japan, where I was when I was the guy holding the belt. You already know, like
even before that, man, his runs in TNA. He's a multiple X Division champion, multiple tag champion, multiple world champion.
He was the literal reason that Impact with TNA Impact was actually on the fucking map. He was literally one of the cornerstones. Yeah. No matter what, so it's like with that aspect, with certain legends like AJ is like you ain't got to really be that upset about it because you also understand he's done enough.
I got one.
Yeah, but AJ, that spot's fine. That spot's fine to me.
I would also bring Braun Breaker up a little bit.
You think so?
I would put him. He's 26. I would put him at least. I would put him at least. Put him where Chris Jericho is at least 22.
And just drop everybody down.
Moose could drop down.
I mean, bro, like
Mike Bailey should be way higher.
I would even put him at 20, where Drew McIntyre is.
If respectfully, I honestly think this man needs to be lower. They got your boy Minoru Suzuki at 44.
Minoru's been through mad companies, honestly.
I think Wheeler Yuta needs to be fucking higher.
I agree.
Wheeler Yuta could be higher.
Definitely
could be higher.
Darby,
lower.
Darby could stay at 45.
Yuta, I would have even put Yuta before Sammy Guevara.
I mean, that's your opinion.
True.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Trishadora, I would put Trishadora a little bit higher. I mean, at 52, I'd put her a little bit higher than that. It's just like I was saying, it's like, it really you got to really like sit in the room with them and be like, all right, which
another name that's been proven
Pentagon's
themselves
93.
To me.
That's crazy. Sorry,
another name that's been proven themselves to me in AEW is Daniel Garcia.
I think he's fine where he's at.
He's good. He's very good.
He's been getting better though.
Top 50 is perfect for him.
Yeah.
And for everybody mentioning these runs and all these different stuff, put into consideration the time period that it's happening. It's a year from June to now.
No, June to June.
June to June. So you bringing up tag title runs or stuff of that stuff that happened last year. That was way before they're doing this list.
Yeah, as long as it's June.
So that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm mentioning time period. You're talking about Darby Allin. Darby Allin didn't have any crazy matches with.
They got Titan over Riddle, aka Strowman.
But then even then, like looking at that with Daniel Garcia, like last year he was 233, and now this year he's 48.
Yeah,
so it's like
quick rise.
It's an upgrade.
When some people like they do deserve.
Did we talk about MJF? Do we feel like MJF needs to be a little bit higher on that list?
16, no. I think if you shuffle the top,
he's good.
If you shuffle the top 15, either which way you put it, I think it's fine. I can't vouch for Vikingo, unfortunately.
I don't really know anything about
I'm telling you, he's badass.
I just don't. You can shuffle the top 15 how you want it, but the top 2 are legitimately staying that way.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think with MJF, what helped and what broke him is unfortunately, that pipe bomb just kept him off TV for a couple of months, and the fact also that he was basically just losing a lot. He would have
been higher.
Like he probably would have been higher if he was booked in a better light. He would have been.
Oh, also shout out to MJF because I recently just saw on Instagram he got engaged.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's definitely shout out to him for that. Yeah, congratulations. But I do think that it's just the booking that is only why he's not higher than what he should be.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know, like we know what he brings to the table. We know he's well deserving.
Yeah. Oh, so quick sidebar, and I want to pitch this to y'all real quick. See how y'all feel about this. I think this would be a great fucking idea. And I did post this in the group before, Kay. You might have seen it, but I don't know. So I just read on Sportskeeda earlier that KO came out and said that if he was to have 2 people back him up, he would consider bringing up the Creed brothers.
Smart, because they've been killing it.
Interesting.
The Creed brothers. I've always said they're definitely the next team to watch. Obviously, I would have rather them win at Worlds Collide. I wanted them to win. I wasn't a fan of Pretty Deadly, but it is what it is. But that Julius Creed, like we probably get him back. But that Julius Creed, special.
Yeah, absolutely. Special. I wasn't a fan of how on the last episode of NXT the whole shit the handcuffs.
That sitting and deadlift suplex that he did at Worlds Collide.
Oh my god,
that blew me away for the entire show. I was like,
that was fantastic.
You never have seen that. Never. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
That was fantastic. Oh, so check this out, bro. I showed Kay this when we went. So a couple weeks back, me and the fellas, the whole BTB squad, we went out to see NYWC.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fucking fantastic. They did it at Farmingville Fire Department Dispatch.
Okay.
And so the tag team Milk Chocolate, they are fucking phenomenal. They won the titles. But their entrance, dude, was insane. We were looking for them. We heard the entrance music hit. We're looking for them. And they're standing on top of the fucking building in front of us that everybody was coming out of, and these motherfuckers came down the fire truck ladder, bro.
Oh wow!
To come to the ring, son. That shit was. I was like, yo, that was fire. I was like, that was better than any WrestleMania entrance I've seen in a long time.
The fact that y'all came down.
A fucking fire truck ladder, and you could see the one dude, the white dude that he's with. I forgot his name, but he was shitting bricks coming down that ladder. But the black dude was having the time of his life. He was dancing all the way down the ladder, bro. I was like, oh my god, this shit's crazy. It was great. Unfortunately, Rodney is taking a bit of a hiatus from having us do the show. He's just been going through a lot of stress between work and stuff. So, shout out to Rodney. You know, we just wish you well, bro. You know, get your shit together, bro. And when you ready, bro, we'll go back to it. Ain't nobody forgot about us. Our fans are still there.
Listen. You already know. Take as much time as you need to. You know, at the end of the day, you can't keep pouring from a cup to everyone.
I don't mean to put anything personal from him out there because no,
because that's
business.
I know this is business, but we also already
but that's
know,
my brother, man, and I love the kid to death, man, and I wish him well.
And the thing is, bro, you already know y'all family to us as well. Like you already know, it's all love every time y'all come in. Y'all show us love. You know, we as much as we can, we do the same. So it's just like, thank you. I would say thank you for even sharing that. And if anything, if he needs any type of reach out or if anything, like just we're all ears. We're here. If he needs an extension here to like vent, we're here. We're here to listen. Always just.
I think him just taking a break personally find himself again. I think that's the best thing for him right now. Honestly. Yeah, man. Because I've been down that road. Trust me, bro. I've been lost, man, and it's really hard to come back. It really is. Yeah. It took me a while to really find the root of my actual depression, and it took one day for me spazzing the fuck out, and I did it in front of my son, and just looking at him and watching the fear in his eyes was what broke me mentally.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that was literally the root of my depression. It's just the environment that I'm in.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Yeah.
And so now whenever shit gets out of hand, I just separate myself from the situation. I don't even think about it no more.
As you should.
Yeah.
We're good. It's all good, bro. We here.
But yeah, bro. Pretty much that was cool, man. That was cool. We were actually supposed to have Big O on the show that week. Yeah, Roddy knows Big O very well. We were actually he's a very busy man, so like it's kind of hard to get him how you guys had Darius Carter live.
Yeah.
So probably what we would have did was we would have set up a day, and we would have recorded it prior to the show, and then just played it out on the show. But it's hard because his schedule was all over the place. So
to be fair, like honestly, us even getting Darius Carter live was really like the strike of luck.
That was beautiful, bro.
Because really,
I was driving home from dropping my son off watching the podcast, bro, and I was like trying to pay attention to the road, but I'm like, yo, everything that he's hitting on. It's so fucking spot on, bro.
That's why I said, like, yo, that man
knows the fucking business, like the back of his hand, bro. Like,
and the fact that he's such a genius, he was a genius, and he just was given so many gems. That's why I always say, I'll be like, yo, I really hope that everybody takes something from this, even whether you're coming up in the business or just life in general. Take what he's saying, like because this is like a little like a mini masterclass that he was given. Because real true, if we weren't able to get him live, we were just gonna get him early and just play this as a recording, and I was just
we were gonna do the same with Big O if we had Big O on the show.
Yeah, but it's like
that's coming.
Yeah,
that's coming. Once we get BTB back up and rolling, that's still coming. I'm gonna talk to Rodney about getting Big O on the show.
We're right there. We're gonna be right there watching it and listening in, trust and believe. Like, but you already know, bro. Just send love and prayers to Rodney. You already know, like, if he ever needs any help or he ever needs like just to reach out or an ear, we're here. We're all, the four of us. We're all here. We're available as much as we can. Like, we understand how it feels to be like, sometimes you just you just don't have anything left in the cup to give. Like, we understand. It's everybody understands that. Like, it's tough. That's why you always got to remember to
Yeah,
just,
man. Life is
keep to
life.
yourself first. Keep to yourself. Like, make sure that you take care of you first before you end up taking care of anything else. That's because it's not. It's once you're able to take care of yourself first, you'll see how much the magic flourishes.
Yeah,
You'll see how much
Absolutely.
it flourishes after.
shout out to Off the Top Ropes. What's going on, y'all?
What's
Thank you
going
for
on,
always
y'all?
following.
What up? What up?
Same thing with your support, man. We appreciate y'all. We always support y'all too. Um, yeah, man. Listen, look. Bottom line is, we've had the pleasure to meet and interact with a lot of different podcasters, a lot of different wrestlers, referees, owners, man. You know what I mean? And we've gained this relationship with a lot of y'all, and it's important to us because number one, the support is there, but
Yeah,
number two, it really it just goes to show that there's strength in numbers. Um, so to anybody, this is from us to each other. This is from us to you guys. You know, if you ever need an ear, we're always here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, QS had such a powerful piece last week. So shouts out to you, brother. Um, but yeah, man, life is life. We got to go through it, and the best thing we could do is try to keep our heads up and push through. At the end of the day, push through because life is too short, man. I just had, and not me well, yeah, but I just found out two people passed, and um, and one was just super, super left field. So, life is at the end of the day, man, life is too short. You got to live it to the best of your ability. So, yeah, man, keep your head up. Whoever needs it. Um, know that, and I think I'm not sure if you said it last week, but I know you said it before on the pod. You're not alone. We all, something I realized this last weekend is that, there's a lot of people who's done a lot worse, who's not done, who's gone through a lot worse than we have. So those are the times when we hear those stories to know that not only is it possible to do big things with what you have and or even less, but to know that giving up just really can't be an option. The fact that there's always somebody, no matter who it is, somebody older, somebody younger, somebody the same age, there's always somebody looking up to you. So remember that, and even it's which is a struggle for me too. It's okay to not be okay,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
there's strength in reaching out. And honestly, I shouldn't be one to talk about this because I'm still struggling with the fact of even calling people or doing what I'm about to say, but therapy. Um, I really shouldn't be the one to talk about it. Like, honestly, but
Well, me for the one of the biggest things for me was, and my girl used to always get on my fucking case about this. Whenever I was going through something mentally, talking to her was the hardest thing for me all the time because as a man, you never want your woman to see you at a low point. Um, you never want you never want your woman to see you as weak. Um, it's just I guess it's something that we all go through as men.
yeah,
With when it comes to masculinity, um, you never want your woman to see you cry. And I remember the first time I broke down in front of her, and I didn't even know what I was crying about, bro. I really didn't fucking know what I was crying about. She asked me what I was crying about, and I couldn't even. I was going through at that point with my depression. I was going through so many different fucking things mentally, to the point where I couldn't pinpoint what was truly triggering my depression. There would be times where I would just have these mental breakdowns, just start crying, and I couldn't figure out why. But as a man, fellas, I gotta say, it's okay to cry. It's okay to cry shit out. It really is. Sometimes you gotta just let that fucking shit out. Letting it bottle up inside you for so long is what only makes it worse.
It literally, it's a build up. It's a build up. But another thing, I think for the most part, a lot of times men have this. It's pride. Pride is, they always say that pride kills, or pride begets the fallen. It really is a true thing. Like it's not even just toxic masculinity, the way society plays on it for men at least. You're always built. The perception is you're built to be meant to be strong all the time, but strength is not showing emotion. Strength is not crying. Strength is not showing any type of weakness or any type of deterrence. When in truth, it's okay. Yes, it's very much okay for you to cry. Let it out. It's all right. Like, if anything, you talking about it and you expressing what pain or what you're going through shows more strength than in anything. Shows more strength in your character, more strength in that you're able to just truly be you. There's nothing wrong with that. No one's gonna ever have an issue with any of us.
That's absolutely what I was gonna get into.
And if they do, fuck them.
True strength is really being able to man the fuck up and own that shit.
Yeah,
and say, I fucking went through that shit.
You did all right. You pulled out. Like, that's all that matters. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you pulled through.
Depression is definitely real. It's a rampant thing, but that's where you have to keep on reminding yourself that you're here for a bigger purpose besides just living. What obviously with life is, what life shows you on this journey is what you have to figure out. You figuring out what your purpose is. That's really the beauty of it in itself. You having to take this journey and figure it out, and that's why I will always be pushing it on everyone. To be able to go to therapy, seek therapy. Obviously, I know therapy is very fucking expensive, but there's always different alternatives or ways around it to make you find that one person that's able to hear what you're going through, to make you realize that you're not alone, that you're not alone in your perspective and how you're feeling. Like, it's all just a matter of all of it. It's just a matter of time, and it's a lot of patience. But I also know that with depression and with a lot of times when you have those breakdowns, that patience gets tried almost every day. But you have to just keep reminding yourself, you're here for a bigger purpose. You're here for something better. You know that you're loved. You know that there's people around. Never, not to give into those thoughts, to think that nobody else cares about you. Like, nah, they do.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And it's, even if they're not able to understand what you're going through, that's okay too. It's nobody else's fault. It's not even your fault. It's just something that it can't be understood. It just has to be, if anything, you folks just have to experience it to live. They have to live it and experience it to understand it.
Yeah,
that's when you go ahead. But then that's when you go ahead of time and go to another. Just go step above and be like, you know what? My village can't hold me down with this. At least I got my therapist hold me down and be like, help me work through it.
Honestly, sometimes it's just that sometimes all you need is an ear. Honestly, sometimes all you need is for somebody to listen. And something my mother and I spoke about, which sticks with me, which is why I'm thinking about therapy again. Well, between her and the missus, this is down my throat about it. Anyways, but I mean that in a positive way, not anything crazy. But she said, it's talking to friends and family is great, but it's always going to be objective because they care about you. They want the best for you. They want you to be okay. And I'm not saying therapists don't. I'm just saying it's very objective. Which is why therapy which is why she suggested it, because they sometimes when you speak to somebody who doesn't know you from a hole in the wall, they can just give you a flat out answer without what's the word I'm looking for?
I think I can understand what you're trying to say. So basically, in a nutshell, if you are getting it from family, it's always going to be opinionative. There's always going to be an
Yeah, because
opinion
they care
behind it.
about you.
But if you're getting it from a therapist, obviously they are doing their job, but they can still coach and mentor you through it on how to assess the situation.
Because a lot of times when you're talking about it with your friends, like it's good to talk to your friends and reach out. Glad that you have that village to do it, but sometimes your friends don't really have the capacity to be able to even handle what you're going through. They just, especially if because then it also causes them, they have to really probably look into themselves. And they got their own shit to deal with. It'd be like, yo, it's a lot. Like you can't. That's why you gotta be. It's like it's another thing to always be mindful of. It's like you have to be mindful of what you decide to share.
Right.
Like if they're gonna be able to sit with that and be like, hear it at least, but to be able to take all of this in. Like,
and truth be told, that's and that's why I think, like, when it came to me and Rodney growing up, me and Rodney always clicked because we both grew up pretty much on the same path, and we grew up on going through a lot of the same things. And that's why it was always so easy for me to talk to him pretty much about anything. This, honestly, truth be told, this is the first time that I've kind of felt a little in the dark with him, but I get it. I know I know what he's going through. I know what's going on with him. Um, but this is the first time I felt a little in the dark. And I'm not even gonna hold you, but I get it. I know he needs his space, and I'm going to give him that space. Because I love him, and that's my brother from another, and we family, bro. So it's
man. Shout out to Rod, man. Love you, bro.
we all love you, bro. We really do. And
So
if you ever need somebody to talk to, and you just want to reach out, Rod, I'm always fucking here, bro. My line is always open. You can call me any fucking time of the day, and I will make time for you, bro.
I already know.
Sir, Q, what's the number for the suicide hotline?
If you ever feeling alone, you feel like you need somebody to talk to, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, you just dial 988. You don't have to go you don't have to go online and look up the actual number. They put it now. And shorter. They just put it in shorter numbers. It's just like quicker way to speed dial it. 988. Just always remember, if you need
You can
that,
text as well, even if you don't want to use your voice. You can text.
Yeah, if you don't want to use your voice, you can speak through text. And if it really gets to that point, just always remember, you are really not alone.
Please, and I believe you can call anonymously too.
Yeah, you can.
Please.
Also, QS. Can you also hit them with maybe some hotlines or some different websites?
I mean, there's
some of the more prominent ones that people have been using.
I would say there's plenty of other websites. There's other apps. You already know there's Talkspace.com, and if you want to actually speak, set up to speak to an actual online therapist, you have BetterHelp. You have BetterHelp.com, Talkspace. You have Che Behavioral Services. Che Behavioral Services is another open one that's actually for a lot of folks that have their own Medicaid, Medicare, their own health insurance. They work with that, and they work directly with you. They'll match you with whatever therapist you want to be matched with. There's the Instagram page that is also a direct line to different other sources of therapy for Black girls. There's also
BetterHelp is one, right?
BetterHelp is one, yes. There's also the Real Depression Project Instagram page. They give so many resources, different books or different pamphlets, or if you need to be directed into the right vein for a therapist, they're another extension. There's also another extension this goes also for necessarily for Black men, for if you are looking for another therapist in terms of another Black man therapist to figure out what is it that you're going through. There's Four Brothers, the Four Brothers mission statement. You can find it.
FOR.
Facebook. FOR. Yes. FOUR.
FOUR. The number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Number four Brothers. That's another program. It actually was one of the programs that got me started back onto my therapy journey before I ended up navigating the way and finding another outlet to actually better help me for what I deal with. But you know, like I said, these are different sources that are out here. Obviously, even for next week's, for when this episode does air, we'll have all of the I'll have all the ads and links posted,
Yes,
so that way when everyone wants to go, you can just while you listen to it on Apple Music, iHeart, or at Spotify, the direct links will be right there sent to y'all. So don't even worry. I'm not gonna obviously like put them out there right now because they're not in front of me. But these are just off the top of the dome. Like, just know that there's definitely therapy out there when you are able to go when you're ready. Not doesn't have to be a force. When you're truly ready and you're able to go and to get that help, those resources are right there.
yeah, absolutely. So gentlemen, Mark, thank you for coming on, brother. Thank you for
Absolutely.
talking shop, talking wrestling, all that good shit. Thank you for being vulnerable and speaking your truth. Also,
Facts.
tell them where they can find you, bro.
You can find me on Facebook at Mark JDM Ray, just like you see it there, REY. And you can also find me on Instagram at AREEWHY92. That's REY92.
There you go. Gents. Oh, so real quick, I almost forgot. Today is the beginning of Spanish. Latino Heritage Month.
Latino
How did,
Heritage Month, baby.
so
From the
we
15th to the
actually
15th.
we actually was supposed to highlight someone this week, but we'll start that next week. We're gonna pick someone who isn't wrestlers, who isn't one of the more well known top wrestlers, a la Eddie Guerrero, and so on and so forth. So
Absolutely.
next week, we're gonna highlight somebody, and we will talk some more stuff like we always fucking do. So, uh,
If I could give one real quick,
okay, do you think?
I'll run through it real quick. So through Hispanic Heritage Month, one of my favorites, and I actually did a book report on him in high school, for Spanish class. Roberto Clemente.
Yes, sir.
He was the very first Hispanic baseball player. He played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And if y'all didn't know, there's actually a spot. I believe his number was what, 23 or 21. I think it was 21.
Interesting.
I think it was 20. It was either 23 or 21. But there, for those who don't know, there is a spot, um, the wall, in Pittsburgh Field. One of the walls, I believe, is exactly the height of his baseball jersey number.
Oh, that's cool.
His jersey number is retired in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, Roberto tragically died in a plane crash in the middle of an ocean on a trip to, I think he was going to Nicaragua.
Wow.
And unfortunately, his body was never discovered.
Damn.
Yeah, it was very tragic. But he was the very first Hispanic baseball player ever. So shout out to Roberto Clemente,
Professional baseball.
professional baseball player for the MLB. And
Ooh,
Jackie Robinson was the first black baseball player.
you already know, bitch. But that's February.
Right.
But that's fair. We'll say that.
And that's every day. Fuck that. Let me
yeah,
rephrase
that's
that.
every motherfucking day.
Shoo.
That's
But,
and number 42 is the only number in baseball retired twice, worn by
that's
Jackie Robinson and Mariano Rivera.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
See, look, folks, you learn something new every day.
Good to know.
Well, that's the
So once
podcast
again,
for
brother, yeah, right. Thank you for coming on, brother. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Gents,
sir.
Glad to
let's
be here,
do
bro.
what we do.
Well, you already know to follow me at Forever Thief on all streaming platforms, whether it's Twitter and Instagram, especially. Once again, it is Suicide Prevention Month. I would say, as always, take care of you. Make sure to take care of you if you feel like you are that strong friend that is just drained and completely and does not have anything else to give. Please do not take it to that. I would not want you to take it to that next step because you're more valued here than reading an obituary about you. That's all in all seriousness. As always, take care of yourself. If you need to take time off, take the time off that you need. Just get back to you. Um, get the help that you need. This help is always around. There's always someone there to even just hear, to even just listen. to even just listen to you vent. And you know, QS, you already know QS, brother QS here. I always got love for y'all. Love every last one of you. Sending that love and sending that light y'all way. Just keep on keeping on. I already know. It's as hard as it can be.
Sir. Since our other brother isn't here, you can follow the Big Stretch on Instagram at Jadero Sapio and Twitter at Jadero Stretch.
And it's me, Striker Dragoon. Just quick and simple. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, all the same. YouTube should be in the description below. I'm at 70 subs, 30 more till I get to that 100. I'll do a double game giveaway. So if you like video games, if you like
2 games.
Yeah, 2 games, definitely.
Yeah, I
got you. Yeah, so if you like video games, if you like me rambling, talking shit about, just live events and stuff like that. We just had Tokyo Game Show. We just had a Nintendo Direct. We just had a Sony State of Play. All things that we can speak about at on Twitter. So if you follow me on Twitter, we can have this discourse, this discussion.
Yes.
But yes, just sub, put your friends on. If your kids like watching video games, no matter how bloody or how violent, even though I don't really play bloody or violent video games like that. But, whatever video games they like, just give me some suggestions. Maybe I'll have some money and I'll buy it and see how it is. But I got plenty games to play, plenty games for y'all to watch. So just support. You'll get games back. You'll get money back. Who knows? It's worth the time. And whatever effort you guys, whatever I put out there, I'm giving back to the community. So that's it.
You can always find me, K Marvel, at Instagram and Twitter at Mr. Marvel87. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch at The Council of Commentary, TikTok at Council of Commentary, and Twitter at CO Commentary. And to which your brothers might do a few more spaces. Enjoy doing that a lot. So be on the lookout for that. Because we're gonna talk some more shit, and it might not be wrestling. Who knows? It could just be regular shit because we just some regular niggas. What? No.
There we go.
Make sure you.
Well, do that. Do that.
Make sure you follow the Four Corners of Commentary on all your favorite streaming platforms. Excuse me, like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio. And that's only naming a few. On a whole hell of a lot more. So just Google a name. You can follow. All you gotta do is find the purple ring. You follow us. You can find us, and you can listen and watch.
And quick tidbit. TikTok is finally in the motions. It's working. Clips are being posted. Just support Council of Commentary on TikTok. Definitely check it out. Check out the clips. We'll be posting clips all over the place, Twitter, Instagram, wherever we can. Just for the love and support we're getting. It's time you guys actually see some of these clips and see the work we put in to this podcast weekly.
Maybe
that's facts.
Maybe
and by the way,
shit. Who knows?
A huge shout out to my boy Sir Ian Davids and the rest of the THWF admins for last week allowing me to shout out the Four Corners of Commentary on the page and get y'all some promotion for the Darius Carter episode.
Also,
appreciate that,
please feel free to go back and watch season 1 and season 2 and some of our other stuff that's on YouTube. It's fucking awesome. End of story. So thank you to Brother Mark for QS, Striker, Big Stretch, and myself, K Marvel. We are your Four Corners of Commentary. Pow, pow. And we out. Peace.